Hi. What's up, gamers? I have some announcements that I want to put at the beginning of the video, and then I have some updates that I want to put in the middle of the video, and then I'll come back to the announcements again, just in case you forget. Okay? Okay. My first announcement is I do have a second channel. I've mentioned it before. I do have it. I don't know if people know that I have it, but I do have it. It's called Freaking a Sheet. The plan was to post gaming videos on there, and then it was too much to manage 2 channels at once. I got overwhelmed and stopped posting to it. But lately, I've been streaming on there again, because I did do a couple streams, and then we were moving, and I was busy, so I couldn't stream, and then I've been streaming again. And now I made a Twitch, so I'm also going to be streaming on Twitch at the same time as I'm streaming on there on YouTube. So if you're interested in that, check it out. That would be cool. The other thing, because I just don't promote it enough, because I always forget that it's a thing that I did, I have merch for both channels. It's on TeePublic. The link is always in my description on these videos. If you're curious about anything, like where else you can find me, check the description. The merch link's always in there, my Instagram's linked in there, my second channel's linked in there, my music channel's linked in there. And if you want to find anything else on my channel, hold on, let me, if you go to my channel, you can see my screen. Right here, there's gonna be a little about section right next to the profile picture. It should say more, and it'll pop up with a little bio thing. I have a little card in there, and it has all of my links. So if you want to find Goober Ghost, my main YouTube channel is in here. Freaking a Sheet, my second YouTube channel, is in here. Freaking a Sheet Twitch is in here. Dead Teeth, my music channel, is in here. Stinky Goblin, my Instagram, is in here. Goober Goblin, my Tumblr, is in here. And Stinky Goblin, my TikTok, is in here. And then at the very bottom, this is my merch store on— shut the fuck up. I have many designs on this website. This one I just recently added. It's the ghosts from my channel banner on my Freaking a Sheet account. You can get all the little guys, and you can stick them all over everything. And it's $3 Canadian on sale right now. Go check it out if you would like some stickers. Or if you're feeling like it, I got some t-shirts. Shut up, dude. I get it. It's on sale. You can get the ghosts from my outro screen on a t-shirt in various assorted colors. You can get this little fella. Hold on, is there a better picture? It's my cat on the ghost as a little blanket. You can get it in various colors. You can get it as a sticker. You can get it as a magnet, I'm pretty sure, as well. You can get a lot of things in these designs. So look at them. Also, they have pins. I have pins. These little fellas, I have pins. I can show you one. Hold on, just give me a second. This is my jacket. I don't know what kind of jacket you call this jacket, but it's my jacket. It looks like that. That's not the side that it's on. Hold on. This is what the Goober Ghost profile picture ghost looks like as a pin. This is— sorry to flip you off. This one is the big size. I don't know what the small size looks like, but they do have size comparisons on this website. So if you're interested in that, check it out. I'm very proud of all the designs I made. I'm very excited. That's what they look like. I probably should have been wearing it for this video, but I didn't think about that. This is the shirt that has the goob and the ghost on it. If you want one of those, they're very nice quality, and so is the print. I'm actually quite impressed with that. Those are a bit more expensive, so if you don't have a lot to spend but you still want to buy stuff, look at the buttons, look at the stickers, you can get those. So That's my merch store, and I'll probably add more designs because I've just been slowly adding more designs over time. The next section of this video is entirely updates about me, so if you don't give a shit about that, I don't know, go away, I guess. The first update is sort of along the lines of more side hustle stuff. I want to get something in the way of like clothing commissions set up, and then probably also art commissions. Though with both of those, there's definitely some extra like work that I still have to do in terms of like getting a little better at sewing, or at least making it look a little more professionally finished when it comes to like hemming or like the seams on the inside. That's still something that I'm working on. As well as just figuring out the logistics of like how I will set up the actual commissions. And then the other thing is like art commissions that I just want to work on nailing down like an actual art style, because I don't 100% feel like super happy with my art quite yet. It still very much looks like art drawn by a high schooler because I kind of stopped doing art completely in like the middle of high school. Digital art has been helping with that. It makes it a lot easier to just like start a piece and finish it because it takes so much less time. It still takes a long time, but I don't know, there's less like cleanup and you don't have to have like 5 million pencils and pens everywhere. That's kind of nice. I like that. I like how the layers work. Are you about to go take a shit right now? Well, as long as you're quiet. I wanna work on like honing my art style a little bit better. It's not awful, it just, you can kind of tell that I stopped doing art halfway through high school because I grew to hate art a little bit, at least traditional art. I don't know, something about the format of doing it for school just really made me kind of miserable about it. Now that I've been doing it recently, I've been using Ibis Paint. I like it a lot. I like also having a tablet that I can draw like directly on so much more than my drawing tablet, because I mentioned probably when I got it that I got a drawing tablet, and I did like it. It's a nice tablet. I just like so much more. You can like physically see exactly what you're drawing right underneath where your pen is. That's so much easier in my brain, and you can kind of tell, especially when there's been a couple pieces of art that I've redone on my tablet that I originally did, like for my channel, especially with the like drawing tablet that I connected to my computer. You can tell not only that I've gotten a little better, but also that it's so much easier for me to just like figure out where I am on the page, you know? You know, like with this style of tablet with a screen, I can see exactly where my pen is drawing. With the style of drawing tablet that doesn't have a screen, it's a little bit harder to figure out like where I am, so I struggled with it more. But I also do think that my art has just gotten a little bit better, maybe? I don't know. But I still want to work on it a little bit. I want to have like more recent practice, because that was also something in high school. I only ever really did art for my classes. I stopped drawing just for myself. Because when I started high school, like there's pictures of my old room. I think there might even be some still up on my Instagram if you scroll really far back. My one wall, and honestly most of the walls in my bedroom, were just plastered in my own art because all I did all the time was draw. And then I got to high school and it just became doing art the way that my teacher likes so I don't lose marks, and then I hated art. So anyway, that's also a work in progress. I did get a serger, so that is gonna make sewing stuff a little bit easier. That's been fun to figure out. I was very excited about it. So excited, in fact, that I forgot to buy serger cones with the serger. So I just had, for a few days, a serger that I could not use because I didn't buy the cones. But it's been very fun. The first thing I did, I was recording a little test, like, look at me sew with it, I'm sewing my first thing together. Immediately ran over a pin and chopped it in half, which was, needless to say, a little bit terrifying. But it's been fun. I made a dress so far to like test a little pattern I made. Did not turn out the way that I wanted it to. It's always the boobs, dude. just can't comprehend the shape of them or what they look like or where to put them, really. It's every time I pattern something, the boobs is like its own whole extra workshopping. It's everything else looks pretty well fine. It's a little longer than it should be, but I think I'm gonna have to rip out, redraft, and then recut, and then resew the entire front area, because it just doesn't look right. Doesn't sit the way that I want it to. But it's coming along. We're making progress. It doesn't look too bad either. I'm like, the finishing details in the inside of the dress, I'm like kind of impressed with that. That's like pretty decent, especially with a serger. It makes it so much easier, because then it just looks like, I mean, the clothes that you're used to seeing that you buy in any store. I can show you actually some of my creations. So you would have seen these two sweaters in my last video, so obviously because I have a video about making these. There's this one. I still haven't fixed the shit ass elastic at the bottom. I wear this all the fucking time. I also haven't fixed this still, but I wear it all the time. I really like it. And then there's also this one, which was the one I was making in my last video. It has held up very well. Honestly, I'm super proud of this. If I would serge these instead of just like welting them, or I serged them and then did a welt seam, that would be perfectly acceptable. I'm actually quite proud of this one. This one is a really good proof of concept. I'm actually really impressed with that. Another one that's a pretty good proof of concept is, both of those I used like other people's patterns for, but I would like to have some eventually where I just made my own pattern completely. But this is another one that I made from a pattern that is also a really good proof of concept. I have some pictures of me wearing it that I can put in, but turned out pretty well. This is what that looks like. Super cute, but yeah, it's got little snaps down the front of here, and then this like gathered bust in the front that ties. This is a good example of like, I pressed the seams open, but they're like not finished. But if I went back in and like serged those, it would look really nice and like professional. And then the last one is this, which is a very similar dress. I based the bust off of that pattern, but it's one that I made basically my own pattern. So the bust is nigh identical because I changed the pattern shape slightly, but it's basically based on the same thing. But I will have to like make several adjustments to it because I don't know what I did specifically, but it's like a little mess. The changes that I made were not good changes. This is what it looks like. It's more of a like baby doll silhouette, so the waistline is up here like right under the bust, and then the main issues with this are the bust comes up way too okay. Anyway, the bust comes up way too high, and then it doesn't have enough space between the waist and the bust, so it both comes up too high. It comes up to like the collarbones, and I wanted it like here. And then it's like saggy underneath my boob. This is a pattern piece for like the side boob area. I need to take some out of this like armpit because it is too wide there. This, the only thing I'm changing is like this right angle was way too like much. I may also make this thicker, but I think for now it's fine. I think most of the problem was that this was too sharp of an angle and it was really hard to sew the bust pattern piece into that because it comes out pretty curved when you gather it. This needs to be shorter up and down and then shorter this way and less angled because I wanted it to be more square at the top, because the one that I based the pattern off of, it comes out quite like V-shaped. I wanted slightly lower and like more straight across, you know? Those are my clothing's items that I've made. The last things to talk about aren't as fun. They never are. In the end of June, we will have been here for a year, and this was supposed to be very temporary, which is frustrating. And I haven't talked about it at all because I just don't like to. It's not fun to talk about, and it's not that anything necessarily like overly bad is happening. It's kind of just like, I don't even know how to describe it, and I don't want to fully get into it because it's both just not fun to talk about, and also a lot of it is like kind of personal. It's kind of just, I don't want to still be here. This is not where I want to be, and I'm unhappy about it. As it stands, it's pretty stable, but it's not where I would like to be. Like, best case scenario, we would have our own house. Better than best case scenario, I would have my own place, which is what the deal with the 5 million different side hustles is. Not only is the job market right now absolute dog shit, like what the actual fuck is going on, especially being a Canadian. Hey man, what the hell is that? I also struggle in regular jobs. I don't know really how to describe it other than my specific brand genre of autism and depression and other mental issues I got going on. Not only am I not able to get treatment for them because I simply don't have the money for it, I don't function in regular jobs, as I have unfortunately had to learn the hard way. That's also not something I've talked about much because, again, it's not fun to talk about. I don't really want to bring that shit online. Also, it's kind of embarrassing because I want like nothing more than just to be normal and functional and an adult, but I kind of feel incapable of doing that, and it just feels frustrating as fuck because I just want to be a normal functional adult, you know? And it seems like no matter what I do, I just can't get to that point, especially when it comes to having a real people job, especially right now, because I've just been so miserable and anxious about our current predicament. Usually when I reach like a certain threshold of anxiety and depression, I will just slip back into full-blown agoraphobia and like really severe dissociation, and that's what I've been experiencing for the past several months. And I was trying to like fight it and keep pushing as long as I could, but I got to about, I want to say February, and I just could not keep it together anymore. And so I've been really struggling now, not only with just the general weirdness of how I am, but also now it's like I can't leave the house when I want to. Even just to do like to hang out with my girlfriend is incredibly difficult most of the time. The like small things that I was doing to try and make like little odd jobs are so much harder to do now because once again, I can't leave the house. I was dog walking. Can't really do that if you can't leave the house. You can't really do much of anything if you can't leave the house, especially things like getting a normal job. So I've been trying to just make it work with whatever else I can. And this isn't to like try and guilt you into feeling bad so you buy things for me. If you don't want to buy shit, you don't want to spend money at all, that is perfectly okay. Literally, I have no problem with that. I completely understand not having money and not wanting to buy shit. If you have the means and you're genuinely interested, go for it. But if you don't give a shit at all, you don't want any of it, don't bother. And I'm not mad at you. It's just how it is sometimes. If I know that I'm feeling like this, there's no way that I'm the only person, you know? I feel like most people my age probably are experiencing this. Most people my age have also like 5 different side hustles they're trying to do, because not only is it nigh impossible to get a regular job, even when you have one, it doesn't cut it, you know? So that's my thoughts on that. The last thing is, I don't know what I'm doing with this hair, but it might be gone. It might be leaving my head. I don't know. I feel very torn about it because we don't need to get into the color of it. I'm not really happy with it. It was really pretty for like the first 2 weeks-ish. I was hoping this would be more purpley, especially for longer, but you can never trust a fucking purple, can you? I like when it's all fresh and clean and it just kind of looks really, and it's like a shag and it has all these layers and my hair texture is texturing. Anyway, I like it sometimes. I like to look at it. It looks like I have a big, cool, like, mane of hair. But most of the time, like, the second it gets greasy, I immediately put it up because it doesn't look cool anymore. And it is touching me all the time. It's in my eyes. It's in my mouth. It's touching my neck. It's warm. It's itchy. So, like, I feel very torn, you know? Because it looks pretty. It does not always feel pretty sensory-wise, you know? I spend 90% of my time with it up in a bun. So I keep being like, well, why not just cut it all off then? But I've grown kind of attached to it. I'm gonna keep it. Like, I'm gonna put it in ponytails and I'm gonna chop them off in those ponytails and I'm gonna keep those ponytails. You know, it'll be like a ponytail like this and I'm gonna snip it. And I'm gonna keep that. I still don't know whether I'm gonna shave it yet. I'm tempted to, because it's been, how long has it been? I actually don't know how long it's been. I think it's been over 2 years since I shaved my head, and honestly having a shaved head for the summer would be kind of nice. Though then I have to deal with like the grow out phase and I don't really want to deal with that. So I've been thinking, I had my hair like this in October of 2021 and I really liked it. I don't think I'm gonna do bright red this time, but this haircut. So even though I've kept my hair like this, I haven't been touching the side shaves because I want to grow them out so that I can just straight cut it like that. But I'm getting kind of fucking impatient because get out of my way, dude. They're growing, but they're still not quite at the length to do that. I'd also need to acquire some good scissors, and I kind of want to have it like a more natural color maybe for a while. I don't know, I just haven't been feeling the hair dye lately, which feels bizarre because I've had dyed hair for the past like decade. Literally over a decade. I always think of like my hair when I was like early 14, like 12 to early 14 as like my natural hair because it was super long and it was that dark brown, but that's not even true because it was like DIY at-home highlight with a boxed red hair dye over top of it. I remember going to a summer camp when I was 14 before I chopped all my hair off, and we were swimming in the lake a lot, and I would always wear this like big t-shirt that I made. I cut like one of those skulls in the back. You know those t-shirts that people DIY'd in like 2014, 2015? Every time I got out of the fucking lake that we were swimming in and just had my hair down, it was just seeping dye all over the back of this fucking shirt, and it was like green, so it was turning it this like nasty fucking color. Anyway, I've had my hair dyed for a decade and it's weird as hell to think of like me being a natural hair person. I don't think I'll ever be, because there's been a couple periods where I've left my hair alone and it's been fine, but it just kind of feels weird. Okay, Discord, you can calm down. It just kind of feels weird because I've slowly sunk more in the camera every single like every single cut. I just sink lower. Yeah, it's just weird to think of me being like a natural hair color person, though I don't think I will ever be. Even when I've had natural hair for some periods of time, it's fine. It just feels a little weird because I feel like I look too boring. I feel like if I stop dyeing mine hair, I need to do something else weird with my appearance. I've been thinking about getting a septum piercing. I think that's a move if I stop dyeing my hair. I think I need like a nose piercing or something. I wanted to get lip piercings so bad when I was like 14. I wanted snake bites because I thought they were so fucking cool. Kinda glad I never got them because my teeth are rough and I don't need help with that. And a lot of the piercings that you can get in or around your mouth can be particularly harmful for your teeth, especially if you don't get them pierced by someone who knows what they're doing. Because, I mean, my ears, I got them pierced in like a back storage room of a hair salon when I was 16, and it went fine for me. Like, they healed really quick. I also was told to clean them with isopropyl alcohol, which apparently you're not supposed to do. You're supposed to use a saline solution for that. I didn't know that. She just told me she pierced my ears with those little white thingies. You put the earrings in and then you just smush them and it just pierces. Not the gun, the little white thingies. You can get them on Amazon. And then she told me to go to Dollarama, get some isopropyl alcohol, and clean them once or twice a day for 6 weeks. And they healed fine. They healed even faster than 6 weeks. I think they were completely healed in like 3 or 4 weeks. They healed up. They're all good. They've been all good for years. So, you know, I want to get more ear piercings too. I think that would be fun. I think I want to get another lobe piercing because I have this little bump here. I don't want to put an earring on there. I want to put one in the other this little section because both my ears have that. I think that would look pretty cool. And then I've always loved the idea of having at least 1 or 2 piercings up here. I can't remember what they're called. I think I might do that on like one of my ears. Probably this one because I always put my hair behind this ear. I think having, especially since also it's got this nice flat side so they could sit real nice right here, I think that would look cool. So basically, if I stop dyeing my hair, I need to get weirder in other ways because I cannot handle not looking weird. The outside's gotta match the inside, you know? Strange and off-putting in here, gotta be strange and off-putting out here, you know? Anyways, those are my updates and announcements. As a reminder of the announcements, streaming on Twitch and YouTube roughly every other day. Gonna try to stream for shorter periods of time because I've been streaming way too long. They'll probably be like 3 or 4 hours. I'm gonna set a timer for myself the next time I stream, but it's roughly every other day, usually after 5 p.m. and EST, Eastern Standard Ontario time. Just keep an eye out, and if you really want to be there, put your notifications on. You can do that. And the other thing is the merch. If you want to buy a weird little t-shirt or some stickers with some weird little guys on them, you want a t-shirt with some weird little guys on it, go check it out. It's in the description. Go look, and don't feel obligated to do it. Don't you dare feel obligated to do it. Do it if you genuinely would like a t-shirt with a weird little guy on it. You genuinely in your heart would love a weird little guy on your shirt. Then you can go do it. Then you're allowed. If not, you're not allowed. It's illegal. Don't do it. It's a crime. Anyways, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed my announcements and updates. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. Roughly ever. What the hell?